As EV adoption lags and over 249 million gas-powered vehicles still dominate U.S. roads, most drivers rely on fuel quality more than they realize. But not all gasoline is equal. Some brands can hurt your engine, while others protect it. So, here are 11 gasoline brands to avoid and 5 that actually safeguard your engine. Number 11. 7-Eleven Gas. You'd think a big brand would offer steady fuel quality, but 7-Eleven buys whichever supplier is cheapest each week, so one station might be acceptable while another causes a bunch of problems. That inconsistency leads to rough idle, hesitation, poor mileage, or knocking because the fuel might be contaminated or blended wrong. Some stations were even shut down for selling gas with too much ethanol or sediment. It's not worth saving a few cents if the fuel can damage pumps and injectors. Although the branding feels familiar, the lack of reliable sourcing turns every fill-up into a gamble. Number 10. Safeway Gasoline. Safeway gas seems cheap, but it causes a bunch of issues because its detergent levels are low, and it doesn't meet top-tier standards. When detergents drop below what automakers recommend, carbon builds up fast on injectors and valves, so the engine starts running rough and acting worn out even though it isn't. I've opened engines that used this fuel, and the sticky valves, blackened plugs, and weak response made it clear the fuel was the problem. Drivers think they're saving money, but they end up paying for repairs. Although it looks affordable, the lack of proper cleaning agents makes your engine suffer. Number 9. Sam's Club. Sam's Club focuses on volume, not quality, so its fuel comes from mixed suppliers, and that means the formula keeps changing. Because there's no consistent detergent package, one tank might run fine, but another might clog injectors or filters. I've seen a bunch of cars come in after filling up there with rough idle or cold start issues, and the drained fuel often looked cloudy from moisture or sediment. Sam's Club also isn't top-tier certified, so it only meets minimum cleaning standards. Although the low price pulls people in, the weak quality control makes problems show up sooner than expected. Number 8. Circle K. Circle K looks polished, but it doesn't make its own fuel, and it buys whatever blend is cheapest locally, so your engine becomes the test subject. I've checked engines after months of using this gas, and the sticky injectors, carbon-coated valves, and random misfires made the weak detergent levels obvious. In 2020, several stations were fined because water-contaminated fuel left a bunch of drivers stranded. The company blamed delivery issues, but that didn't fix the damage. Although Circle K feels convenient, the inconsistent fuel quality explains stalling or rough idling right after fill-up. Number 7. Murphy USA. Murphy USA sits right by Walmart, so people stop there out of convenience, but the fuel quality isn't dependable because the detergent levels often fall below top-tier standards. I've seen engines struggle with rough idle, sputtering, or injector failure after using this gas, and people assume their cars are aging when it's actually the fuel. Ethanol levels also swing too much, which throws off fuel trims. In 2018, stations in Texas and Louisiana were investigated after dozens of cars stalled. Number 6. Speedway. Speedway looks clean, but its fuel comes from mixed suppliers, so the quality changes constantly. I've worked on a bunch of engines that used Speedway long-term, and they all showed the same signs: carbon buildup, weak throttle response, and lower fuel economy because the detergent levels weren't strong enough. Some locations even sold water-contaminated gas after heavy rain, and drivers barely made it down the road before stalling. Since Speedway isn't top-tier certified, it only meets the minimum requirements. Although the stations appear professional, the inconsistent fuel makes long-term engine performance worse. Number 5. Love's Travel Stops. Love's is popular with travelers because it's always open, but that convenience doesn't translate to clean fuel. Their tanks move huge volumes, so maintenance gets harder, and contamination shows up more often. I've seen a bunch of cars break down right after filling up at Love's because the fuel looked cloudy or carried sediment from water or dirt. In 2022, inspectors even found microbial growth in some underground tanks, which clogs filters and injectors quickly. And since Love's isn't top-tier certified, it doesn't guarantee strong detergents. Although it's easy to find on the highway, the fuel quality is unpredictable. Number 4. Amoco. This one surprises people because they associate the name with a classic brand. But after BP revived it, the fuel basically became BP's regular blend under a different label. The issue is that these blends don't match the detergent strength of top-tier heavy hitters like Chevron or Shell. EPA records even show complaints about carbon buildup in modern direct injection engines from Amoco users. I've seen engines with only 60,000 miles running like they've doubled that because the valves and injectors were dirty. Some stations still use older storage tanks that can let moisture seep in, which is bad news for fuel pumps and injectors. Number 3. Pilot Flying J. Pilot Flying J has been in the news for reasons that go far beyond fuel quality. Back in 2013, the FBI raided the company after it admitted to cheating truckers out of rebate money. But even after that, drivers kept complaining about inconsistent or dirty fuel. I've had people bring in their diesel pickups after long trips because they started knocking or losing power after filling up here. Some samples showed high water content or heavy sediment from poorly maintained tanks. When a brand focuses more on selling volume than ensuring clean fuel, drivers end up dealing with the fallout. Convenience helps, but engines need clean fuel, so convenience alone doesn't cut it. And if corporate scandals sound bad, the next brand goes beyond shortcuts into criminal territory. Number 2. Sunoco Regular Grade. This one hurts people because Sunoco is tied to racing and the name appears everywhere in motorsports. But the racing fuel is nothing like the regular gas at the pump. Their regular grade causes more buildup and knock issues than most major brands. Consumer tests have shown the detergent levels are low, and several stations failed inspections for off-spec ethanol blends or water contamination. In 2016, the EPA fined Sunoco locations for selling fuel that didn't meet clean air standards. And while their premium or racing products are strong, the base-grade fuel doesn't belong in modern engines. It burns dirty and produces buildup fast. But the next one makes all of this look tame. Number 1. Lamb Fuels. Lamb Fuels sits in the worst category because it wasn't just selling low-quality gas. It was allegedly selling waste fuel disguised as regular gasoline. EPA files show some batches were mixed with used oil, solvents, and chemical byproducts. So it wasn't minor contamination at all. Because this waste blend went straight into people's cars, engines started knocking, smoking, or failing completely within days. I've seen engines ruined beyond repair, with melted injectors, sludge-filled filters, and catalytic converters clogged solid. These aren't simple mistakes, but criminal-level shortcuts made for profit. But the upside is that some brands actually protect engines, and 5 of them do it right. Number 5. Shell. Shell's nitrogen-enriched formula creates a layer that prevents carbon from sticking to valves and injectors. So engines running on Shell tend to have cleaner combustion chambers and smoother idle. Every Shell station follows top-tier requirements, and the consistency makes a difference in throttle response and long-term performance. Number 4. ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil's Synergy blend focuses on consistency and protection. The fuel contains strong cleaning agents that fight carbon and corrosion, and even the regular grade meets top-tier standards. Engines running on this brand show clean valves and smooth performance because the formula stays the same across grades. Number 3. Chevron with Techron. Chevron's Techron formula works because it uses strong detergents that clean valves, pistons, and injectors as you drive. I've opened engines with over 150,000 miles on Chevron fuel and found almost no carbon. It's top-tier certified and often exceeds the recommended cleaning standards. And although it costs more, it keeps engines running longer and smoother. Number 2. BP Amoco Ultimate. BP's Ultimate blend tops the list because it's designed to remove existing carbon buildup, not just slow it down. Engines switching from cheap fuel to Ultimate often show smoother idle and better throttle response within a few tanks. It's top-tier certified and claims to keep engines significantly cleaner than low-detergent fuels. And based on what I've seen, that claim holds up. It keeps valves clean, improves combustion, and supports long-term engine health. Number 1. Costco Gasoline. Most people assume Warehouse Club gasoline is low quality, but Costco turns that idea on its head because its Kirkland Signature fuel is top-tier certified, meaning it contains significantly more detergent additives than what's required by the EPA. Because Costco sells so much fuel, their turnover is very high, so the gas stays fresh, and the station maintenance, including frequent tank sampling and flow rate checks, is top-notch. Costco itself claims its fuel has 5 times the EPA's minimum detergent additive requirement. That combination helps keep your engine engine cleaner for longer and still saves you money compared to many brand name stations. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.